Hi guys, welcome to Placeaholic. In this video we'll take a closer look at the 20 best places to live in Utah. Not everyone is a fan of the freezing temperatures and bone-shivering climates, which is why so many people have started to move to places like Utah over the years. If warm weather is what you're looking for, then Utah is definitely the right choice for you since it is everything you could ever want, and then some. There are so many wonderful places to visit and so many things to do in the Beehive State. The Zion National Park, for example, is always a joy to visit, and if you prefer to take a more personal approach to history, you can always check out Bryce Canyon too. Warmness is also the word we would use to describe the people here, as they are amongst the friendliest and nicest people you'll ever find. Prejudice is the last thing on their mind, as here you can raise your family with ease, while also being in close proximity to plenty of commuter routes. You can live without a care in the world here, thanks to the low crime rates and, of course, having access to health provisions that will allow you to feel safe no matter what. All in all, Utah really is a cut above the rest when it comes to what it has to offer, but even so, we do have to beg the question of where exactly in Utah you should move into? Sadly, we can't answer that question for you, but what we can do is we can just bring you the top 20 best places that we've ever been to and experienced for ourselves to point you in the right direction. So, without further ado, let's just hop right into our first pick of the day. 20. North Salt Lake. Salt Lake City is the most popular city in the state, and that's a fact, but what many people tend to forget is that it is also quite busy most of the time, which is why you may want to consider a nearby suburb as opposed to the busy center of Utah. This is where North Salt Lake comes in. It is just as amazing of a suburb as any other, but what makes it so good in the first place is the fact that it is located so close to the heart of the action. On top of that, the median home value here is nothing to scoff at, with the value averaging around $232,500, and what's even better about this is that almost all of these places offer you a great view of the Rotary Park, which is always nice to see. 19. East Central, Liberty Park. If you're looking for a peaceful and affordable place or neighborhood to live in, nestled right in the heart of Salt Lake City, then you should look no further. When we say affordable, we do mean it, as the expected home price here is only $260,925 for a single family home. That in itself is great for Salt Lake, but if you don't want a permanent home for now, you'll also be happy to hear that the rent here is only $948 per month. What makes this all the better is the fact that the average household income is of around $58,676, and on top of that the school system here is great and the local amenities are anything but lackluster. 18. Sugar House. Sugar House may sound like a pretty questionable place to live in, but we can assure you that it is well worth your time and money. It features an exceptionally low crime rate, affordable housing, one of the friendliest and most accepting communities, walkable streets, and more than a handful of top-grade wining and dining amenities spread all around every corner of every street. Topple all of that with the fact that the school system here is amazing, and it shouldn't take you too long to realize why Sugar House is on our list to begin with. 17. Foothill, Sunnyside. Although the population may be a bit on the smaller side, with a total of 1,500 residents as we're writing of this article, the experience you will get from living here in Foothill/Sunnyside is quite grand to say the least. All jokes aside, this is one of the safest neighborhoods in the Salt Lake City area, which already makes this one of the best places for you to move into with your family. Sure, the average home price is definitely a bit on the higher side, costing you around $489,000 or so depending on how much you're asking from a home in the first place, but at the same time you can still save up and just live on the down low, thanks to the median monthly rent being only $884. 16. Bonneville Hills. This is actually one of the most sought-after neighborhoods in the Salt Lake City, and for good reason too, as it features some top-class amenities, first-class transportation links, amazing schools, and let's not forget about the family-friendly feel that you will get the moment you step foot in it. The only real downside to living here in Bonneville Hills is the fact that the median property value rests high and mighty around the $469,587 range, which may be a bit out of some people's budget. 15. Cedar Hills. With a total population of 10,165, Cedar Hills is most oftentimes referred to as one of the quietest and coziest cities you could find in Utah. While it is technically considered to be a suburb, it definitely still has that small town vibe that the town has had ever since its inception. It is a great place to live in with your family, especially since the church has such an important role to play into everyone's lives. The church organizes plenty of amazing events that bring everyone together, but if that's not what you're looking for, we totally understand. You should also know that Cedar Hills has as many as 78 schools for you to choose from, and the amenities here are anything but lacking. 14. Logan. You can find Logan hidden deep within the mountains of northern Utah, and while the road here may be a bit on the rough side, once you do find your way here you will surely enjoy your time to the fullest. It is the perfect place to move into if you are a fan of mom and dad shops, antique stores and family-owned businesses. The ice creams here are also the best in the state by far, and while it may not look like it, it is a hotspot for college students and young families alike. 13. Ogden. With a total population of 85,508, out of which the average age is of only 37.4, you can already see why Ogden is such a popular choice for many. Being full of young millennials trying to make this the best community out there, Ogden is not an option you should ignore anytime soon. The average home income here is of around $50,061, which is great news for renters since getting yourself a home for a month will only cost as little as $988. 12. Heber. If you just so happen to be an outdoor enthusiast, then you absolutely need to check out Heber. You can find it at around 20 minutes or so away from Park City, and as you can probably tell by now, it has some of the best outdoor views you'll ever see. This is the perfect place for you to move into if you're a fan of fishing, boating, hiking or water skiing, since the Uinta mountain range is always within reach. Let's not forget about the fact that the school system here is also phenomenal, and while it may not look it, it does come with its fair share of amenities, including some amazing restaurants and clubs that are always ready to serve you. 11. Farmington. This fairly large suburb has a total population of 22,616, and while not that many people may know about it, Farmington may very well be the dream place for you to live in if you've had trouble getting a well-paying job before. This is because the typical home salary here is of around $97,178 per year, which is made all the better by the fact that rent here costs only around $1,048 per month. All in all, Farmington is a very safe suburb for you to raise your family in. The family here are very friendly and the job opportunities are always around every corner. 10. Highland. Salt Lake City may take the number one spot for a lot of people, but let's just say that it is not exactly everyone's cup of tea. It is a very desirable place to live in, yes, but some people would rather go for a more diverse and affordable place instead. One quick example of a suburb that perfectly matches that description is none other than Highland. Affordability is key here as the average home costs as little as $116,900, and on top of that the community here is very diverse and accepting regardless of your economic background or ethnicity. 9. Wasatch Hollow. You can find the Wasatch Hollow neighborhood just south of Yalecrest, being one of the top choices for millennials in all of Utah. If you are on the hunt for your very first home, Wasatch Hollow may very well be the destination you've been looking for all this time. Just keep in mind that the demand for homes here is steadily rising, which may also reflect in the home prices in the near future. As of right now though, the average home here in Wasatch Hollow will rake you around $353,200, which is not too bad. This price can skyrocket in a matter of a few years though, so definitely keep an eye out for it. 8. Kaysville. Kaysville is yet another great location for you to move into if you want to live close to Salt Lake City, taking up all of the advantages that come with that, while also steering far away from the busy city life and all the noise it has to offer. Kaysville is a perfect family-oriented alternative to Salt Lake City, and we do mean that since it was perfectly designed to be a family-friendly retreat for anyone in need. Here you can find a rather huge amusement park known as the Lagoon, and on top of that you can also find the family fun center known as Cherry Hill. This location comes packed with a water park, a campsite and a ton of group activities you can partake in if you feel up for them. The average home price here rests somewhere around $419,785, which in itself is not bad, although there are plenty of more affordable options for you to choose from out there. 7. Sandy. Sandy is a rather massive suburb that can be found on the southeast side of Salt Lake City. Despite being located so close to Salt Lake City though, It actually feels like a whole separate town that you can live in without ever having to go to the bigger suburb nearby anytime soon. It has a ton of amazing restaurants for you to choose from, and the shopping malls here are always a treat to visit whenever you feel like blowing some cash into the wind. The average home price is of around $431,200, and the average rent price is usually resting somewhere around $1,256 depending on the amenities you're looking for. 6. Yalecrest. Yalecrest may be one of the smallest places we've mentioned so far, but if you've ever been to it yourself, this charming neighborhood, it shouldn't come off as a surprise that it ranks so high up on our list to begin with. It has a total population of just under 3,900 people, although this community is known as one of the friendliest around. You can meet your neighbors down at the Eggs in the city off of 1300 Street, and if you're looking for something more permanent, you can rent out a home here for less than $1,150 per month. 5. Snyderville. Snyderville may very well be one of the most beautiful places for you to move into while in Utah, and for good reason too. Its schools are just straight up outstanding, and the house prices are actually quite affordable considering just how close you are to Salt Lake City. There are a total of 8 schools in the area that range from high schools all the way down to elementary levels. Unsurprisingly, they're all performing above the national standard with ease. 4. East Bench. East Bench is an interesting choice too, because it is one of the most unique places we've ever been to for sure. Depending on where you happen to move into, you can end up paying an affordable price, or you could very well end up with a home that costs you over $1,400,000 if you're not careful. This is because East Bench has everything and everyone you could ever think of. It is the perfect place to move into where both the rich and the less fortunate can coexist, since the cost of living is quite swell while also offering some of the best amenities in the state. 3. Summit Park. Summit Park has a total population of just under 8,025, but what they do have that almost no other places here in Utah have, is the fact that they are some of the most highly educated people you'll find. More than 30% of the residents here have a master's degree or higher, which is the main reason as to why the average home income is of around $117,000 per year here. The cost of living is up there, yes, and the home prices are nothing to scoff at, but if you do want the best for your children, though, we highly recommend you check out Summit Park on your next journey. 2. Fruit Heights. Fruit Heights is amongst the most perfect places for you to live in while in Utah, and here's why. First of all, it is a much more affordable place than most other suburbs in the state, with the average home price being of around $317,800. That in itself is amazing, but it's not the only attractive part about Fruit Heights. The school system here is great, as all 10 of the schools here all share the same quality together. They have outstanding performance scores. We have no real downsides to living here in Fruit Heights. The only thing we can say about it is that it is well worth your time and money without a shred of doubt on our mind. 1. Park City. With a total population of 8,167 lucky individuals, Park City is definitely a one-of-a-kind type of a place that we always recommend moving into, even if you don't have the necessary funds for it. What we mean by this is that Park City has some of the most incredible amenities we've ever seen. There is no shortage of things to do here, and the number of first-class restaurants, shops and bars around every corner is absolutely amazing. Here is the downside though. The average home here for a single family can cost as much as $937,200. Keep in mind, however, that the average home income here is of around $104,182 per year, which balances out the egregious home prices here. Utah is already what we would consider to be a perfect state to live in, and for good reason too. It is a very welcoming state. It has a ton of family-oriented places that you can move into, and better so, most if not all of the cities in it are very vibrant and friendly no matter your own background. So, if you want to and you have the money for it, why not consider moving into Utah? We can assure you that you will not regret it no matter what. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click that like button, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.